Hello and welcome to the THQ podcast. So in this episode, what I'm going to be talking about, or what I'm going to be actually questioning you really, is do you really eat well? So many people watching this podcast has probably got themselves into the scenario before where they think they're eating healthfully, but in actual fact, well, they're not seeing the results, but they're eating healthfully. So my question to you is, are you really eating healthfully? Are you really getting a good understanding of what's going in your mouth? And what have you got a really good understanding of what it actually takes? Now, just eating Muller Light yogurts, Ryvitas, having never tracked calories, not understanding what's actually in foods is not just going to magically get you in shape. That's what you have to realise. Like many of us will have 150 calorie lattes 4 or 5 times a day and not even acknowledge that as the calories that they've had. So we need to really question everything. So my question is, do you really eat well? So weekends do not ruin your progress. You do. That is the best saying I think I could ever give somebody when it comes to being successful in a body transformation. So when we get to weekend, we get this overwhelming feeling to just sort of relax everything, and that's great. I love spending some downtime with my family, and yes, I love eating different foods and drinking more alcohol. But I've been through 2 situations where I get to the weekend and I put weekends ruin my progress, and I get to the weekend and I'm fine with eating what I want and drinking more alcohol. So it's not the weekend, it's the way I approach the weekend and the way I approach over it. So what I do is now, at the weekend, I know that I have to have a good idea of the calories that I'm consuming. So I'll have 2,000 calories Monday to Thursday. I'll have 5,000 calories Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That gives me about 3,400 calories. Because I track absolutely everything in the week, like including vegetables, that's why my calories are a little bit higher. If I didn't track vegetables, I'd probably be on about 2,900, 3,000 calories a day. So, and all my food choices, majority of the time, are good, decent food, which obviously helps when you can eat higher volume foods because we lose a lot of it through digestion as well. And obviously we move more and we train better as well. So obviously you use more of your nutrients. So it makes a difference of what foods that you're actually consuming. So that's my question to you is, at weekends, if it is holding you back, and the easiest way to probably do that is really just get a good understanding of your weight. So like for me, during the week, I probably fluctuate 2 or 3 pounds, right? So I've got my goal weight of always seeing 12 on a scale, right? If I get my goal weight of always seeing 12 on a scale, if I have a couple of weekends where I'm bad and I'm generally not, and my general cruising weight is about 13.6, by the time I get to the end of the week, the Friday, trying to get to the weekend, I will never ever reach my target, right? So you need to have a good idea of how much weight you're actually putting on over the weekend. Obviously that can spike as well. So this is why you have to be consistent with this, guys. You can't be like, I can have one day in the week where I've had loads of carbohydrates, bad foods, and my weight spikes. It's not a true reading, but the more you do it, the more you get a better understanding of where your body's at. That is very, very important. It's one way to see what you're doing at weekends. So I can't eat 2,000 calories a day. So I've given somebody 2,000 calories before. No way can I eat that much food. But they will gladly eat a takeaway 3,000 calories. So this is the thing. Maybe they'll actually realise the difference, right? But Domino's, Chinese, all 2,000 calories plus. But you couldn't possibly eat 2,000 calories of decent whole food Monday to Thursday. But on a Friday, you could eat a Chinese. So we need to get a good understanding. And then when that's put to some people, it's just pretend it's actually not true because it's a very hard thing to admit that, isn't it, really? You have to really be totally honest with yourself that there is high volume foods and low volume foods, right? So the more if we consume, yes, we're going to find it harder. So it's not the calories, if we have more lean, decent, healthy food like fruits, vegetables, meats, fish, pile our plates up, we're going to naturally eat lower calories, right? If we have takeaways, sandwiches, crisps, biscuits, sweets, we're going to have more lower volume foods, but you're going to have more calories. So when you get, being honest with you, if someone says to you, put 2,000 calories, if you're honest with yourself, I couldn't eat 2,000 calories. What you're trying to say is really you probably couldn't eat 2,000 calories of quality food because you're not being consistent enough. You're just choosing to have that amount of calories from crap foods. That's the thing. When we're honest with ourselves about that answer, then we actually make better choices and we actually feel better. Because another thing as well is like the feeling of the day after. Like sometimes this is where our body's very, very tricky. Like you can have a Chinese or a load of beers or whatever, and you actually wake up the next couple of days like leaner. So sometimes on a Monday you might actually feel lean. Like you think, oh, I've got away with that. But then by Tuesday, Wednesday, you eat your chicken and veg and you start to feel bloated. But because you didn't feel lean, because you felt lean the 2 days after you ate crap, you actually think that doesn't relate. But trust me, it relates. So if you you have a crap weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, feel okay on a Monday, Tuesday starting to feel a little bit, but then you feel crap by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's because you had that weekend. Why do I know that? Because I have been consistent on a diet for many, many weeks at a time, maybe 16, 20 weeks being consistent on a diet. So I know that everything affects my body like that. So that's the best way you can do it, is if you don't believe me, do a diet, do a shoot program, do 12 weeks consistent diet, and you will realize what matters goes into your body from probably day one till the day of the shoot 12 weeks later. Very, very important, very easy thing to get your head around when you start and get a better understanding of what's going on with your body. Now, processed protein. So a lot of us say, right, so when you join GHQ as a member, eat high protein diet. So that's it. Anything protein, I eat protein, you're going to go for that. That's not necessarily the case. So it's about eating whole, decent foods. But whole, decent foods take time. They take time to go to the shop, don't they? They take time to prepare your foods. But it's not easy, right? A bit of transformation isn't easy, but once you get that into your habit, it's very good. It's not okay just to prick or anything with a processed wrapper on that's probably got high fats and sugar in. Just because it says high protein in there, it's probably got 10 grams of protein or something. It's not okay just to looking for labels that say protein, right? When we say high protein diet, we mean from quality lean foods, right? There's plenty of vegan options or vegetarian options, what you're thinking, but generally we're thinking meats and fish. That's what we're thinking when we say high protein diet, not processed fancy labels. So I think a lot of us have massively underestimate what it actually takes to achieve a body transformation. Like it takes commitment and it takes responsibility, and you have to take ownership of absolutely everything, especially at the start. So from when you're doing the 6-week program to the 12-week program to the time you get to doing like one of the specialized programs, it takes commitment. Yes, it gets easier. I can maintain my body shape now on 3,000 calories, like because I train hard, because I've been consistent, because I have good basic habits. Like it takes time, right? Yeah, it does take time, right? But you need to get really specific on what you actually want to achieve and make sure you zone into that to achieve it, right? Don't expect to get results without putting in 110% effort. So I touched about thinking day to day. So chicken and veg makes you bloated. No, it doesn't make you bloated. Well, it might if you're allergic to chicken or you've had too much vegetables. But what I'm saying is, like, if you have a birthday party on a Sunday, you go mad at the buffet, you do that, but it's a birthday, it doesn't count. 3 days later, you eat your chicken and veg and you feel like crap. That birthday counted 100%. It's so important to understand that, right? So important that we don't just look at... I always say look at your calories over the 7 days. So look at how much you're consuming, right? Look at everything. So looking from Monday to Thursday, look at everything you're consuming over the 7 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, look at it. That's how many calories are consumed for the week. But what you also have to look at is your mindset as well. So your mindset with how you're actually feeling, right? Because that is going to change over the 7 days. So being honest with yourself, especially about being tired as well. Like, let's say I'm too tired to go to the gym, I'm too tired to go to exercise, right? If you have a late night, 3 nights in a row, but then have 2 nights when you feel okay, but then you feel tired probably a couple of days later, yes, your body's catching up with you. It's everything. And that's probably resonating with some people now. We realise, maybe it's like, let's say when you do shifts and your nights, and at the end of the last night shift, you feel like crap because it's caught up with you. Well, that's the same as food. That's the same as a bad lifestyle. Things catch up with you. It may take a few days, may take a few weeks, but it catches up with you. And then what we do is we get to the point where we get used to feeling like the crap, and then we don't look at the actual basic habits that we're doing. So that is very, very important. So I'm going to leave you with this. Now, everything that you don't, you can say that you don't enjoy being restricted, right? But I'm telling you, not being restricted, but discipline. If you are disciplined with your food and you're disciplined with your exercise, you will appreciate bad food. You'll enjoy bad food more. You'll appreciate rest days from the gym a lot more. You will appreciate everything. If you have discipline, you will naturally not. If you have discipline in it, right, I'm not going to drink. Say you like a drink and you're not going to drink for 2 weeks, or you have discipline and you don't drink Monday to Friday, but you drink at the weekend, you'll enjoy that a lot more. If you say, right, I'm not going to eat anything crap, nothing for like 3 or 4 days, yes, you can. You have to have that little bit of balance, maybe a protein bar or maybe a little bit of chocolate, things like that. You have to get that flexible balance. You have to understand it's a big topic. You have to understand what type of person you are. But for the point of this podcast, generally, being disciplined makes you enjoy the things that necessarily feel like crap. Because if you drank all the time and ate crap all the time, I guarantee, me and then someone else. So me, I'm disciplined. I exercise every day and I eat well. I guarantee if I go for a meal, I will generally enjoy it more than the person that constantly eats crap, constantly feels bloated, constantly feels tired, never exercised, never done anything, has takeaways all the time. We both go out for a meal at a restaurant. I guarantee I will enjoy it more. That's my point. Guys, thank you for listening. Take care, and I will speak to you very soon.